Hello and a very warm welcome to another brand new edition of Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology, research, and innovation in and around the country. I'm Tina Jha. From antimicrobial and self-cleaning materials developed by IIT Mandi to rapid diagnostic kits to detect COVID-19 and dengue, we have plenty in store for you on today's episode. But as always, let's begin with the top stories of the week. 8 eastern states of India are highly vulnerable to climate change. National Climate Vulnerability Assessment Report released by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Now, COVID-19 infection can be detected in just 45 minutes. IIT Kharagpur launches its point-of-care diagnostic device, CoviRap, for rapid diagnosis of SARS-CoV-2. IIT Mandi researchers developed new antibacterial, self-cleaning and virus filtering material enhanced by nanotechnology. The material will make the reuse of PPE kits safer and easier. And IIT Delhi develops a rapid diagnostic tool for early detection of dengue. The handheld device will provide the results within 1 hour. And now the news in detail. Climate change and the risks associated with it are a global problem. A number of programs are being run to combat climate change at the international level. Recently, the Department of Science and Technology of the Government of India released the National Climate Vulnerability Assessment Report under its climate change program. According to experts, this report will help in implementing adaptation measures by understanding the risk diversity from the state to the district level. Here's a detailed report.
Droughts, floods, cyclones, erratic rainfall, and increase in temperature are some examples of how climate change is affecting the world around us. Over time, the incidence of extreme weather events and their rising numbers and severity are a cause for concern. Climate change has a huge impact on everything around us, from our environment to biodiversity to food production and health. That's why this is a matter of concern all over the world, and we see programs to tackle climate change being run globally. Countries are, in fact, coming together to support each other in this. But the situation is not the same in every country, and even at different levels within a country. It is important to understand the severity of the risk at the local level in order to decide the right course of action. On April 17, the Department of Science and Technology released the National Climate Vulnerability Assessment Report for India under its climate change program. The report, titled Climate Vulnerability Assessment for Adaptation Planning in India Using a Common Framework, identifies India's most vulnerable states and districts according to current climate risks and vulnerabilities.
This project was extended to all the 28 states and 7 union territories. Now the work has been completed, and we hope that the results that have come out from these assessments will go a long way to help state government initiating climate action at the local level.
This framework has been prepared by the Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, the Indian Institute of Technology, Mandi, and the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. It is jointly supported by the Department of Science and Technology and the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, SDC. The report identifies Jharkhand, Mizoram, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Assam, Bihar, Arunachal Pradesh and West Bengal as highly sensitive states in terms of climate change, where adaptation measures need to be prioritized. Of these states, more than 60% of the districts of Assam, Bihar and Jharkhand are in the highly sensitive category. The Climate Vulnerability Assessment will undertaking climate-related actions at the grassroots levels in these areas and accurately design projects related to adaptation.
When it comes to implementation, there should be a nexus between center, state and user community. Of course, decision makers, government policies have to play a very important role in that. So in totality, holistically, if we see, it's a big chain. We have started the action. Now we have to see how the action is completed with other players in the ballgame.
The assessments can further be used for India's reporting on the nationally determined contributions, these NDCs, under the Paris Agreement. And finally, these assessments will support India's National Action Plan on Climate Change. This is because they provide an evaluation framework and a basis for the formulation of policies, of plans and programs for socioeconomic systems and ecological regions at risk.
Climate Vulnerability Assessment using a common framework will prioritize the development and implementation of adaptation-related investment and programs by identifying vulnerable states, districts and panchayats. These initiatives will work for climate protection across India, as well as using these assessments to report on India's nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement. This assessment will help policymakers to initiate appropriate actions related to climate change.
IIT Kharagpur has another laurel to its name in the war against novel coronavirus. On the 21st of April, the institute launched its innovative diagnostic testing tool, COVI-RAP. Now, this stepwise isothermal nucleic acid-based testing technology will allow for quick screening of other pathogens as well, besides the SARS-CoV-2. The point-of-care diagnostic device can also be used by unskilled health workers, as no intermediate manual intervention is needed between sample loading and result dissemination. Here's a report.
The second wave of coronavirus infection has hit the entire world hard and fast. In India too, this infection is spreading faster and more fiercely this time. One of the main ways to deal with this outbreak is to screen more and more people for the infection. That is why the so far reliable RT-PCR testing system is under a lot of pressure. The need of the hour is faster results of the tests being carried out. To overcome this, researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur have developed COVI-RAP, a nucleic acid-based point-of-care diagnostic tool. Developed during the COVID pandemic, this device can detect many pathogens, including the novel coronavirus, in just 45 minutes. Recently, the institute conducted a global launch of the technology. The Rapid Diagnostic Group of Companies India and Bremerton Holdings LLC of the US have licensed the equipment for commercialization. This is a portable device that can be connected to a free smartphone app. A sample taken from the patient's nose or saliva is purified in the first stage by placing it on heat. After this, the sample is diluted in a solution and tested in the portable device by mixing with reagents that are supplied in a pre-mixed form and kept in the apparatus at a balanced temperature for about 30 minutes. After that, laboratory-level results are obtained through the mobile app without human intervention. There is no need to extract RNA separately in this process. The advantage of this tool is that samples can be taken and clinical testing done by unskilled personnel outside controlled laboratories. The COVI-RAP is a major healthcare product that can help in the control of the current pandemic as well as help in further screening of other pathogens. IIT Kharagpur has applied for patents for this isothermal nucleic acid-based diagnostic screening technology in several countries, including India and USA. COVI-RAP can meet the ongoing demand for a high-quality community-level testing facility to a large extent.
Researchers from IIT Mandi have developed a new material for making face masks and PPE kits. The material is virus filtering, antibacterial, and self-cleaning. Powered by nanotechnology, the material gets self-cleaned when it is kept out in bright sunlight. This innovation by IIT Mandi will make the reuse of masks and PPE kits a lot more easier and also safer. Let's find out more about this innovation in this report.
The coronavirus pandemic has shown us that face masks are our most important weapons in the fight against the disease. However, sanitizing a face mask or a PPE kit for reuse is an extremely complex process. Now researchers from the Indian Institute of Technology, Mandi, have developed an innovative virus filtering, self-cleaning and antibacterial material that can be used to make face masks and other PPE equipment. This material not only protects against viruses and other pathogens, but the masks and PPE kits made from it can be completely sanitized just by keeping them in the sun. This makes it possible for them to be reused. This research has recently been published in the prestigious Journal of the American Chemical Society, Applied Material and Interfaces.
For past couple of years, we have been exploiting the property of 2D nanosheets, especially molybdenum disulfide or MOS2 nanosheets, for different biomedical applications. Recently, MOS2 nanosheets has emerged as an excellent antibacterial agent. This understanding encouraged us to exploit the antibacterial potential of MOS2 nanosheet for the fabrication of PPEs like face masks, which could be great help to the society in the times of pandemics such as current COVID-19.
Researchers have designed an anti-germ coating using nanomaterials to reduce the cost of masks and make them more effective and protective. The team has incorporated nanometer-sized sheets of molybdenum sulfide that has sharp edges and corners, which act as tiny knives that pierce bacterial and viral membranes, thus killing them. This nanoknife-modified fabric has photothermal properties, which means that it converts the sunlight it receives into heat, thus killing all germs. This makes the mask and personal protective equipment made using this fabric become germ-free by keeping it under sunlight for just 5 minutes. This makes the masks and PPE kits reusable in a safe manner, thus also reducing the large amount of waste being generated.
When we study these MOS2 nanosheets under an electron microscope, we see them as thin flakes having sharp edges and corners. These sharp edges and corners makes these nanosheets behave as nano knives, which penetrate and puncture the membranes of bacteria and viruses. So we utilized these MOS2 nanosheets in our study and deposited them on the surface of a cotton fabric. When we studied this cotton fabric under scanning electron microscope, we observed that the nanosheets were quite uniformly deposited on the surface of the fabric, and the normal architecture of the fabric was not at all hampered.
Masks or PPE kits become infected during use and usually have to be discarded after one use, which increases the risk of infection if they are not disposed of properly. This achievement of IIT Mandi researchers will make the protective equipment germ-free. This is expected to not only prevent the spread of infection, but also meet the growing demands for masks and PPE kits.
The coronavirus pandemic has fueled the development of innovative diagnostic techniques in the medical field at large. Scientists are now focusing on finding quick solutions. So in a step towards this direction, a team of researchers from the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, has developed a handheld device for rapid detection of the dengue virus. This device can diagnose dengue within 1 hour. So to understand what this tool is and how it works, let's look at this report.
Every year, 5 to 10 crore people across the world suffer from dengue infection, which often proves fatal. In India too, the transmission of dengue has been a matter of concern for long. Like with any other infection, if the dengue virus is detected at the right time, it is possible to treat the disease. The detection of dengue is done through traditional biochemical or RT-PCR tests, which need a lot of hard work and take time as well. Moreover, these tests cannot be done everywhere. A research team from the physics department of the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, has now developed a sensitive digital device. This small handheld device can be used to detect the dengue virus at an early stage in a small amount of time. This device can report the clinical investigation of dengue infection within 1 hour.
We are developing a portable handheld search platform to diagnose the life-threatening diseases like dengue and other bacterial infections. Here the key idea is using Raman spectroscopy, as we know that Raman spectra gives the fingerprints of the molecule. So we propose to detect the disease in early stage, which will take less than a minute for the detection. The project is funded under Imprint India scheme along with our industry partner New Age Industry at Gurgaon.
Surface-enhanced Raman scattering biosensors based on silver nanorods array, developed using a special glancing angle deposition GLAD technology, has been used in this rapid diagnosis device. The device has been developed under the leadership of Professor J.P. Singh from the Department of Physics at IIT Delhi. The device was tested at ICMR's National Institute of Malaria Research in Delhi. 2 microliter drops of thin blood serum were applied to the biosensor surface on which 786 nanometer laser beam was flashed. The collected data deposited in the Raman spectra was transferred to the principal component analyzer software, which was able to immediately identify clearly positive, negative and healthy samples.
We are working on developing a device for detection of dengue viruses. These viruses, they are present in the blood sample, which can be detected by a simple technique called as a surface-enhanced Raman spectroscopy. This technique is a very simple technique whereby flashing the laser light one can detect the virus.
Developed under the Imprint India project of the Ministry of Education, the device has also been tested by the National AIDS Research Institute, Pune. The device can also detect the HIV-1 virus. The best part is that, due to it being a small and inexpensive device, it can be easily transported to remote areas where screening of disease-causing pathogens can be done easily. The institute is now working to bring this device to the open market with the help of industry partners.
Time now to take a quick look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our special segment, Science Express.
To deal with the second wave of corona infection, the Indian government has now expanded the corona vaccination age range. From the 1st of May, every citizen above the age of 18 years and above can get the corona vaccine. Earlier, only people above 45 years were being administered the vaccine. But the second wave of the coronavirus is also affecting the youth. People above 18 years of age can register themselves on the CoWIN app, Arogya Setu app or the CoWIN website. Apart from this, the option of registration at the nearest vaccination center has also been kept open. In the first wave of vaccinations that started in January this year, frontline warriors and the elderly were given priority. So far, more than 13.5 crore people have been given the corona vaccine in the world's largest vaccination campaign. The second dose has been administered to about 2 crore people. As part of the ongoing global efforts to reduce carbon emissions, a webinar of experts from India and Japan was organized recently. In the webinar, discussions were held to explore the possibilities of partnership in areas such as hydrogen-based technology and related innovations, trends, problems and solutions. The webinar was organized jointly by the Indian Embassy in Japan, the Department of Science and Technology of the Government of India, the Institute for Global Environmental Strategies, IGES, and the Energy and Resource Institute of India. Hydrogen is a highly efficient fuel and the emission of harmful gases from it is almost zero. According to experts, green hydrogen can be a good choice for use in the fields of industrial processing, production of chemicals, iron and steel, food, semiconductors and refining plants. The speaker at this forum also put forth their views on measures to deal with practical challenges. US Space Agency NASA has created history by flying a robot helicopter on Mars. This is the first time a helicopter has flown outside of Earth on another planet. NASA sent this helicopter to Mars with its Perseverance rover, launched on February 18. Its job is to inspect and provide information on areas where the rover cannot reach. The rotorcraft, named Ingenuity, flew to a height of 10 feet. This first 30-second flight has paved a new path of discovery on other planets. The mission was operated from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory located near Los Angeles. This 1.8 kilograms robot rotorcraft flies using its 4 carbon fiber blades. The blades can rotate at a rate of 2,400 rounds per minute. This speed is about 8 times the speed of the blades of helicopters on Earth. Scientists have achieved another feat in the field of environmental protection. Researchers at the Department of Energy's Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory and the University of California, Berkeley have developed a new technology to convert plastic waste into compost. This is a huge step in preventing microplastic pollution. Researchers have designed biodegradable plastic packing with the help of polymer staging enzymes. To this end, individual enzymes were added to 2 biodegradable plastics, including polylactic acid. These enzymes captured the ends of the plastic molecular chains and begin to dissolve. They separated each chain link to prevent microplastic formation. With this discovery, some types of plastic used in everyday packing can be disintegrated and turned into compost at home. This research has recently been published in the international journal Nature. On April 22, World Earth Day was observed all over the world. Although online events were conducted in most places, including India due to the coronavirus pandemic, Earth Day attempts to draw people's attention to the damage done to the planet we call home. World Earth Day was first observed on 22 April 1970 at the initiative of Gaylord Nelson, a US senator. Since then, this day is being celebrated as a campaign to honor the Earth's resources and maintain the natural balance. This day is celebrated every year under different themes. And this year the theme is Restoring the Earth. Various online and offline competitions, lectures and seminars were organized to mark the occasion.
So that's it from us in this edition of Science Monitor. You can send us your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write to us. Here's our address: Vigyan Prasar, 5th floor, Prithvi Bhavan, Lodi Road, New Delhi, 110003. So we'll take your leave now. See you again same time next week. But until then, take care of yourselves and your families. Stay safe, maintain COVID appropriate behavior. If you can, stay at home. And if you have to stay outside, take all necessary precautions as well. So see you again same time next week. Until then, goodbye.